What did you and your supervisor notice about this fraction wall? The first thing is that fractions represent numbers that are smaller than 1, or on a number line, numbers that are in between the whole numbers. For example, between 3 and 4 could be 3.5 or 3 1/4. So that is fractions. Half is the largest fraction. So if you take one object or a group of 50 objects and you share them equally into two groups, each is a half. That is the largest fraction that we can make in our number system. Fractions are smaller when we cut them into more parts. So the more pieces we have, or the more groups we have when we break things into fractions, it gets a smaller and smaller. On this chart, the 12ths are the smallest fractions. We also notice that when you have two groups of 2, or 3 groups of 3, or 5/5ths or 7/7ths, it makes a whole. And the reason it does that is fractions really are a sharing problem or a division problem. So if we take 2 and divide it by 2, our answer is 1. And that works with just about every fraction. Some fraction words end in THS, in ts. Thus we have 5ths, 6ths and 8ths. Quarters and fourths name a fraction that is shared into 4 equal parts. 1/7, 1/9 and 1/11 are not shown on this chart. Where would they go if they were shown on this chart? The more we break a number into smaller equal parts, the parts become smaller. So you can see that thirds are quite a large share, but when we come down to the 12ths or the 13ths or the 15ths, the number value becomes much smaller. There's a lot of interesting things to notice about fractions. What else do you notice about this fraction wall? Have a discussion with your supervisor.